Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today's December 28th, and if for those of you who don't know, I am in Mountain View, Hawaii currently. I'll be here for the next few days. I'll try to do my daily briefings here. No promises that I might not miss a day like yesterday, but I'm out here trying to get the volcano and stuff like that. And plus we do a meeting up with the families out here on the big island of Hawaii. So anyway, taking a look at the visible satellite imagery, you can see California to the bottom right. Our next storm system here is spreading precipitation back in towards the west coast. It's going to pick up the winds here over the next few hours, and we're going to go over that in some detail. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as always as we go through the video here today. But Eureka, California first. We got flood watches out there for some pretty intense precipitation amounts coming in here. More on that here, and I'll share the weather models in that here in a moment. But you can imagine what's going on with these repeated systems coming over the area. You're going to have the rapid rise of rivers, streams, and creeks, and of course, there's increased risk of rock and mudslides along the roadways. So just be careful out there. Turn around, don't drown, and watch out for those mudslides. Now, taking a look at the wind forecast for Sunday. This is for tomorrow, and you can see this. Look at this: Marysville, Chico, Red Bluff, Redding, gusty winds up over 40 miles per hour, and even getting down towards Sacramento, some of the Bay Area also, and some very strong winds coming for the higher terrain, the Sierra Nevadas and the Klamath Range, the Cascades, and some of the coastal regions here as well. You can see the wind direction from the south, moderate impacts there, localized power outages not out of the question. And again, the timing on this is actually coming in later today and for tomorrow. And this is Reno National Weather Service, again, kind of calling attention to the east slopes of the Sierra Nevada. There's some pretty good wind gusts rolling in here. Some places could be exceeding 50, 60 miles per hour. We got snowfall, several inches, especially for the higher terrain, could be impacting I-80 at times. You can see Lake Tahoe would be right there. And this is the winter storm for Sunday, tomorrow, December 29th. And also Sacramento, I wanted to show this as well. This goes all the way in through Sunday p.m. Winter weather advisory is in effect. 5 to 10 above 6,000 here, and then lowering to 5 to 6 through the afternoon. Wind gust to 55 miles per hour. There may be some chain controls also. And going down towards Los Angeles, just want to point this out. We have powerful surf and some energetic wave action up and down the coastline. This was updated yesterday, but still applies for the day today. And also potential critical fire weather Tuesday through Thursday coming up. Some moderate dry Santa Ana winds and low relative humidities. You guys know the drill. It doesn't really matter the time of year. When you get these offshore winds, you get that fire danger. And wind advisory, this does include Bishop here in Olancha. You can see Tonopah, Nevada right there. So heads up for Owens Valley and Eastern Sierra slopes, gust to 65 miles per hour. This goes on the day Sunday. Now taking a look here at the European. So, of course, we got California here. There's the Hawaiian Islands, the bottom left. There's the Pacific Ocean. This is our next storm system rolling in. And you can see the pressure gradient tighten as we go through tonight and then to tomorrow morning. That's just going to bring those gusty winds. And yet another round of precipitation, heavy at times for some of Northern California. It's just been never ending. But after that system, as we go on into early next week, we do get somewhat of a break before the next system starts to gear up, and it arrives at some point on the day Wednesday, it looks like. And that could be another persistent rainfall for Northern California, and then gets down towards the Bay Area as you move on through the day Friday. But man, oh man, just repeated systems into Northern California. And then maybe we'll change up the pattern a little bit here, and we'll get a chance to dry out as we go through the first week of January coming up. No promises. We're looking kind of far off in the forecast, but that would also bring some higher pressure to the Great Basin, which could drive, again, some additional offshore winds. And if we take a look here, you can see the winds really start to ramp up as we go through this evening and tonight, and then they get going through tomorrow morning. Look at that. Northwest winds, southwest out and ahead of the front, moves down towards the Bay Area as we go through the morning hours for tomorrow, and some strong winds across the Sierra Nevada. And then we go on in through Tuesday, and you'll see some of this offshore wind try to develop here a little bit. That's what the National Weather Service is calling attention to. You see how they turn northeasterly here across some of California there. So be watching that for the low relative humidities. They don't have to be that strong to kick up that fire danger there. And if we scroll way off into the extended forecast, I want to show you something interesting way out there. You can see some stronger offshore winds. I mean, we're looking way off into fantasy land, but some of the models are showing some Arctic air trying to move down, mainly east of the Rockies, but some of that cold air does spill across some of the Great Basin here as well, and that would drive that high pressure and some strong offshore winds with it. And this is what that would look like. So there's the system. You can see the pressure gradient tighten as we go through this evening and tonight, again, across Northern California, some of the Sacramento Valley, Sierra Nevada, higher terrain. And then I'm going to scroll all the way out into the extended forecast. And you see some of the high pressure gets out over the interior. But then you can see, and this is Arctic air, I should point that out, off to the east of the Rocky Mountains there. But then if we scroll far enough out, it kind of shows this interesting air mass trying to get back into the Pacific Northwest, some very cold air there. And you could see the pressure gradient that would set up across some of Nevada and some of the desert areas. And that would really bring some strong offshore winds with it. But purely off of fantasy line, just thought I'd show you why some of those offshore wind events do develop. And if we look out here, you can see the systems going through Northern California, the cooler the air aloft. This is at 5,000 feet, by the way. You see that Arctic air up there across Canada, east of the Rocky Mountains. So watch where that goes as we go through the extended forecast. You see it creep down towards the Great Basin, the Pacific Northwest, and some of that gets down towards Nevada, Utah, and portions of northern Arizona. That would drive those offshore winds. Much colder air mass. I mean, look at that all the way down across some of the Great Plains down towards Texas also. But again, fantasy right now, that could be taken away tomorrow. And if we take a look at the precipitation totals, so I'm going to scroll through here, goes our initial system as we go through tonight and tomorrow. Again, just a huge imbalance here between Northern California and Southern California. And then as we go through next week, another system, and guess where that one is headed? Of course, Northern California, and maybe touching the Bay Area at times. This is very sharp cutoff. And Southern California left high and dry for the next 10 to 15 days or so. We'll keep watching. Fingers crossed something eventually arrives in Southern California. So taking a look here at Northern California, again, the slight risk for excessive rainfall, that is for today and tomorrow. And then one more time there as we go through the day 2 outlook also. So yeah, watch out for those mudslides, rock slides, water over roadway, things of that nature, because it is extremely saturated across Northern California. And there's probably going to be some bigger mudslides occurring when these next 2 systems roll through. The 6 to 10 day, you can see the above average for the west, below for California, above for the west, and below for California again. And again, we'll watch to see how that trends. But yeah, I was out hiking around the big island there, the volcano, Kilauea, and you can see I got some pictures out there. Some of the video is pretty exciting, and you could actually hear the lava. Almost sounded like a waterfall, kind of like the big rumbling. If you've ever been like towards Snoqualmie Falls or Niagara Falls, you can hear the big rumbling. It's kind of what it sounded like yesterday. And I think I heard some rock slides around the area as well. And there's another picture I got. Looks like there's a vent back here. There was one here, and then there was like 3 or 4 over here. So 5 or 6 vents were erupting at the same time, pouring that lava out into the crater floor. Pretty interesting sight. I mean, walking through the jungle and coming out and seeing the glow in the sky and then seeing this was a pretty dramatic scene. So anyway, I'll try to do my daily briefing again here tomorrow. If not, I will have one out the following day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We will do this all again either tomorrow or the next day, and I will talk to you guys then.